Good morning, everybody. I've had a little bit of interest in our hand well pump, and I've been meaning to do a video that shows three of our primary systems: the hand pump, the solar system that we have, and our wood cook stove. Three very important, vital systems that we believe you really should have in place in these times of uncertainty. So let's get over to that hand pump and let's take a closer look at it. Come on. Okay, here we are. This is a Bison brand hand well pump, and it's a little bit pricey, but it's very well built. It's all stainless steel, and when you buy one of these, you get this pump, and it's attached to this well casing cover. And you also get the pipes that go down into the well casing. They go down, you tell them how much you need. We got 80 feet of pipe that goes down into the well casing. Simple enough. Now, typically installing one of these is a homeowner project, or it could be, but I didn't want to do it because I'm not good when it comes to mechanics or tools or things like that. So we had a professional come and do it. It's a good thing we did. Anyway, this is just a hand well pump. It works just as you would imagine. Maybe 4 pumps. I like it. We even use it whenever we want to fill our water bottles. We'll come from the kitchen and bring our water bottles, and we'll fill our water bottles directly from this, because in my mind, instead of the water that comes to our faucets goes from the electric pump that's in the ground up and then out through into the basement to the pressure tank. It sits there for a while, and then it gets distributed domestically throughout the rest of the house, or throughout those 1/2-inch copper pipes. So in my mind, and Danielle agrees, if we just bring our water bottle out and get it directly from the source, then it should be, I don't know, better or cleaner or taste better or whatever you want to call it. So for that reason, we always fill our water bottles here. Does it freeze in the winter? No, it doesn't. It came with a little brass cap that screws on to here. And the first winter we had it, we always kept that brass cap on because you don't want insects or bees or anything getting up in there. But we found that in the winter time it did freeze. And so if you wanted to use it during the winter, you had to get a hair dryer or something. And you had to just heat up this area, and then after a minute or two it would come loose. By accident, I discovered that if you lift that brass cap off, and it's over on the shelf over there by the summer kitchen, if you left it off, this thing never froze. So go figure. Okay, here is the one drawback that we're discovering right now, and that is that if your submersible pump, the electric pump down in your well, has a problem and needs to be serviced or replaced, you could have your plumber balk at taking on the job. And that's what we're experiencing right now. We are having an issue with our system somewhere between the pump and the pressure tank. There's a problem right now. And we have a guy on the way who'll be here in about an hour. And we asked 2 plumbers if they would come and work on this, and they knew our situation. The one plumber did come. He looked at it and he said, no, I won't work on that pump in the ground because you have this on. They're intimidated by this thing. So we'll see what the guy coming today says about it. He may also take one look at it, because I did not tell him that we have this Bison pump on here. He may take one look at it and says, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not working on that. And if that's the case, our only recourse is to call the well pump the well drilling company who installed this. We'll have to see if we can get them to come out. And otherwise, other than that fact, this thing works really well. Okay, now we come to the electrical part of our three-part system. The solar panel part. We have 4 panels, and that's all we have. That's all we really need. Each one of these panels is 100 watts, and they're all tied together, so that gives us 400 watts of capability. We can do a lot with those 400 watts. We could have gone with 6 panels, or with 8 panels, but we purposely wanted to keep it small. And this, it turns out, is really all we need to do what we need to do. Now, you can see on the back there that all the panels are all tied together, and then I built a PVC pipe conduit so that our wires go across the ground into the house, where I drilled a hole in the side of the house and brought the wires inside. This is a kind of a bad shot, and the camera lens got all fogged up after being outside and then coming in, but I wanted to show you the inside part of the solar system. Underneath here are 2 big batteries. 2 large batteries with a lot of storage capability. They're both fully charged. We're not on our solar power at the moment because we are not off-grid. This solar system is a backup system. This unit here is the charge controller. It's 100% charged at the moment. And up above it is the inverter. With the inverter, it changes DC current from the panels into AC, or alternating current, so that we can use anything that we have in the house on solar. Well, within reason anyway. We have this surge protector power strip here in the kitchen, and we have a switch in here also. All we have to do is flip that switch and we are on solar power. So a lot of our lights plug in, and we have them that way on purpose, so that if the power does go out, and here in Maine the power goes out a lot, all we have to do is unplug the light switch from the wall and plug it into that power strip. And then we're off and running with solar. Our solar system easily runs the laptop computer. It charges the cell phone. It runs lights. We can use coffee equipment. We can use various small appliances. And it could probably even run large appliances, even the refrigerator or the freezer. We just have never had to do that yet. So that's the solar system. That's the second part of our three-part utility system. Now let's go to the third part. So if you've been watching our channel any amount of time and seen any of our cooking videos, you've undoubtedly seen me working at this wood stove. So it's a wood cook stove, and over here is the wood stove part of it. You open up this little door, and it looks like I need to put a log in, but that's where the firewood goes. And on this half is the oven, and then on the top surface, of course, we can cook on. Right now we're boiling water in here, and we do all of our cooking on here. Oh, here comes some firewood. Okay, thank you. Alright, so we just put a piece of firewood in, and Danielle's going to get another piece. Anyway, this wood cook stove heats up the room really nicely. Thank you. First thing in the morning in the winter, when it's really cold in here, we like to close this sliding door And it helps to contain all of the warmth from the wood stove in this very small kitchen. The kitchen is 16 by 16. And we like to get this room nice and warm and comfortable, and then we open the door to share some of the heat with the rest of the cabin, and eventually we open it all the way, and it works out really well. That one little wood cook stove can pretty much do most of our heating until we get down into the deep January deep freeze. Then it gets pretty cold. Okay, so I've tried to explain to you our three systems: the hand well pump, and the solar power, and the wood cook stove. Each one has its own price, of course, and you have to decide if you want to make that kind of an investment. But to us, it's survival. And in these times, if you know what I mean, you have to be able to depend on yourself. You can't depend on the grid. We're technically tied to the grid, but we don't depend on it. So when the grid does go down, and it went down just the other night, when it does go down, we can just flip a switch and we're off and running. And we use the wood stove all the time anyway, so that's not a problem. And we use the hand well pump most of the time anyhow. And currently we're using it all the time because we have to get a new water pump. But other than that, those three systems should keep you good to go. And I hope I explained it well. If anybody has any questions, I am more than willing to answer any questions. If you want me to do a deep dive on any one of those areas, let me know that also, and I'll do the best I can to explain what I know. But at the very least, I think you ought to get a wood cook stove, especially if you live in the north. And then you ought to have a backup water system of some kind. And having a well of your own doesn't do you any good if your power goes out. What are you going to do if the power goes out? So that's why we put the hand pump on. And of course the solar sure does beats candles. And we can operate the cell phone, operate the computer, operate lights. Having lights on is a big thing. So those three areas, and you should be good to go. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.